¿Qué hubo, raza? Yo soy Ernesto Ayala, and this is Aztlán Weekly. We begin with our camarada Enrique Cardiel desde Burque, Nuevo Mexico, Aztlán, New Mexico. Enrique reports as of last week that he and several community members have noticed an increase in the presence of U.S. Marshals in the city, along with a large staging area for La Jura in Burque's International District. As speculated by our neighboring camarada Andrea Martinez desde Crazy Town, Roswell, Nuevo Mexico, the recent upsurge in the presence of law enforcement might have something to do with the recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling that expands La Migra's authority to stop and detain individuals, mostly raza, based on factors like race, language, or occupation. Andrea reports New Mexico's Attorney General Raul Torres criticized the racialized Supreme Court decision, calling it, quote, a grave insult to the people of New Mexico, warning it threatens civil rights by enabling potential racial profiling. The state's Attorney General reminded everyone, New Mexico's Constitution protects residents from such racial profiling by state, county, and also local law enforcement, and he urged anyone who believes they've been targeted to report it to his office. Andrea also reports on the Nuevo Mexico economy. Recent tariffs on imported coffee and packaging are hitting the state's iconic balloon fiesta vendors just weeks before the event begins. New Mexico's Piñón Coffee, a longtime favorite de la fiesta, says it will raise prices after tariffs on Brazilian coffee beans and packaging boosted costs by as much as 50%. Economists warn festival attendees are likely to notice higher prices for coffee and other imported goods during this year's celebration. And news from our camarada Robert Ramirez desde Colorado, Aztlán. Colorado, according to Denver 7 News, La Migra ICE has shamelessly been targeting Denver law enforcement as a recruiting pool. They have recently released new advertisements and commercials touting their sign-up bonus and benefits such as erasure of student loans. Pero Denver, Color Aztlán isn't the only city being targeted. Sinvergüenza, Chicago, Los Angeles, and other cities deemed sanctuary cities are also seeing the uptick of ads from La Migra. In other Denver, Colorado Aztlán news, as reported by the Denver Post, Denver's iconic American motel known for its Gigante American flag is currently en route for demolition. Though it once housed Elvis Presley during his visit to the city back in the mid-70s, it has since gradually spiraled downward into what local residents deemed a haven for people down on their luck, offering cheap nightly stay prices. But also, as our camarada Robert Ramirez notes, it has rotted into a place for white crackheads to sell, distribute, and use drugs. Meanwhile, its massive U.S. flag continues to float in the sky overhead, the red, white, and blue beacon for what the United States of America ultimately offers its people, decay. Now, noticias from our camarada Chista Garcilaso desde Arizona, Aztlán. Arizona, she reports, heads up Chicano communities, Arizona is seeing a resurgence of laws echoing babosada laws from the past, like SB 1070. Now there's Proposition 314, which seeks to make crossing the border outside legal points a state crime, and empower local police to act like ICE, también. The so-called Arizona ICE Act proposal would force all law enforcement agencies to cooperate con La Migra under 28-7G agreements. Y no se olviden bills like SB 1231 and HB 2843, labeled by advocates as the Border Invasion Act, that would allow state officers to enforce immigration status checks, offer immunity to overzealous officers, and criminalize undocumented presence. These bills may appear in newer forms, but mirror and risk reviving the kind of racial profiling and fear once instituted under SB 1070. Please pay attention to how these policies move through committees. We'll keep you posted, raza. And in other news, there's the Arizona Aztlán call for artists. District 7 Councilwoman Ana Hernandez is looking for a talented local muralist to bring new life to her District 7 office wall. This mural will be more than art. It will be a daily reminder of why we serve, restorative justice, and the resilience of our community. She said, the application deadline is September 30th. The budget for the winning art piece will be $1,800, which includes all materials and labor. Eligibility requirements are as follows. You must be a Phoenix-based artist with mural experience. If you're a muralist with a passion for community and storytelling through art, then this opportunity is for you. Submit your application, portfolio, and ideas to noemi.gonzalez@phoenix.gov. That's noemi.gonzalez@phoenix.gov. When acerta raza, you can also visit Instagram and search district7.phx. And even more Migra-related news from our camarada Verónica Ali desde San Antonio. According to El Paso Times, as of last week, 500 Texas National Guard troops have arrived in El Paso to help the U.S. Border Patrol. The troops arrived on transport aircraft from the Texas Air National Guard, part of Operation Lone Star. The National Guard soldiers will work on border security infrastructure and will be deputized under Title 8 to arrest persons who arrive to the country undocumented. Back to Nuevo Mexico, Aztlán, as our camarada, poet, and educator Petra Salazar reports, desde Nuevo Mexico's Ciudad Española, Los Alamos National Laboratory, LANL, has begun venting radioactive Tridium at Area G as of September 13th. This process is expected to last 2 weeks. The timing overlaps with Española Centennial celebrations beginning September 26th. This puts not only local residents but also Pueblo tribal and Indo-Hispano families directly downwind of the experiment at risk. Officials insist the venting is safe, but environmental and community groups warn Tritium can bind with water, spread through air, soil, and food, and cause multi-generational harm, especially for infants and pregnant people. They call the review-based exclusionary and incomplete, with safer alternatives and real-time monitoring ignored. Community leaders demand transparency, health protections, and a halt to venting until independent review and genuine tribal consultations occur. Y noticias desde Califas and even more migra-related news. According to CNN, last week, California became the first state in the U.S. to ban most law enforcement officers from wearing masks during operations, including federal immigration agents, aka La Migra. The bill was signed by Califas Governor Newsom. He later stated, quote, "Unmarked cars, people in masks, people quite literally disappearing, no due process, no rights. In a democracy where we have rights, immigrants have rights, and we have the right to stand up and push back, and that's what we're doing," unquote. The new law prohibits neck gaiters, ski masks, and other facial coverings for local and federal officers, including ICE or Migra agents, while they conduct official business. And in other news, desde Ventura County, Califas, a suspect in a summer-long Moore Park graffiti art spree was taken into custody last week. La Jura traced the acts to a single suspect, Cristian Ortiz, a 27-year-old artist. At the time of his arrest, Ortiz was found in possession of tools commonly used in graffiti art. He has been charged for causing damage over $400, 3 misdemeanor counts for damage under $400, and 1 count of possession of tools to commit graffiti vandalism. Although we at Aztlán Weekly do not encourage destruction of property, we do encourage art and the freedom of expression. If anyone near the city of Los Angeles would like to share their graffiti art skills on a wall, please contact the Graph Yard located in the San Fernando Valley, Pacas Graph Yard. And in more arts-related news, desde San Fran, San Pancho, Califas, MACE, the Mission Arts Community Expo, is back and accepting submissions for their upcoming anthology. This is the final call for single-page comics inspired by true stories. The deadline is this Sunday, September the 28th. For more information, visit missionartcomicexpo.com. Now, eventos en Aztlán. From our camarada Enrique Cardiel desde Burque, Nuevo Mexico, this Saturday, September 27th from 2 to 6 p.m. Join us for the statewide launch of Public Health is Public Safety and Unlock Civics New Mexico. Together, we will redefine public safety through connection and life-saving interventions. Special guest in attendance will be Michael Spook Armendariz, serving a life sentence as a result of an unjust conviction. Aside from struggling from an unfair system, Michael is also a father, social activist, poet, artist, and rapper. He is passionate about hip-hop and restorative justice. Este evento will offer free food, live entertainment, and local artists. Community resources. Come by, be a part of gathering that affirms life, builds community, and inspires hope. This event will take place at Roosevelt Park, 500 Spruce Street, Southeast, Albuquerque, Nuevo Mexico, 87106. Raza and Recovery will host. Public Health is Public Safety. Y también from our camarada Robert Ramirez desde Denver, Colorado. Get ready, Denver. We're shutting down 600 South Broadway for the Center's Raza Heritage Low and Loud Car Show. When? Saturday, September 27, 2025, from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Contest will award the gold belt for Best of Show. Categories include Best Impala, Best Mini Truck, Best Lincoln, Best G-Body, Best Cadillac. This event offers a live DJ, vendors, food, drinks, and more. So pull up con la familia. Enjoy la cultura, the rides, y las vibras. You don't want to miss this one. For more info, visit Instagram.com/DenverFoods303. That's Denver Foods 303. They highlight Denver's urban cultura. And from our camarada Chista Garcilaso, coming to Tucson, September 27 and 28, the 4th Annual Chicano Vibes Fest at MSA, Annex Tucson. Address 267 South Avenida del Convento. Este evento will begin Saturday starting at 2 p.m. The cultural festival brings live graffiti, b-boy dance battles, local vendors, hip-hop vibes, and a special headlining performance from NB Raidas. And on Sunday, beginning at 2 p.m., even more cultura, car shows, fashion shows, spoken word, social justice, and community resource tables. More musical acts, delicious food, and plenty of local flavor. Tickets are on sale now. Visit ChicanoVibes with a Z.com for tickets, vendor/volunteer signups, and all the details. And back to Nuevo Mexico, Aztlán, Nuevo Mexico. Our camarada Andrea Martinez would like those in Roswell to know that Food Not Bombs Roswell Division, a nonprofit under the umbrella of Hagerman Forward, serves food to those in need every Sunday at 1 p.m. and Thursday at 4 p.m. If you reside in the Roswell area and are in need of food, please contact Jocelyn Smith for food distribution locations. She can be reached at 575-208-9509. That's 575-208-9509. 9509. Or you can visit their Facebook page, search Food Not Bombs Roswell NM. You can also visit foodnotbombs.net. Food Not Bombs Roswell, New Mexico is a community organization dedicated to feeding the hungry. They believe in providing nutritious meals to those in need rather than wasting food on bombs and violence. Volunteers prepare and serve meals in public spaces, fostering a sense of community and support.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
And now Aslan Mundial, porque we bring Aslan with us everywhere we go.
I'm Scott Russell Duncan, Chicano writer and editor with the widest name. This is a special report for Aztlan Weekly. Join me this next month as I head into the heart of whiteness, looking for Mexican food, cultura, and Mexicans themselves. I'll be finding raza and asking them, what's life like? What the hell are you doing here? And the real question, LA tacos, San Antonio tacos, or London tacos?
I'm Scott Russell Duncan, Chicano writer and editor with the widest name. Here with another Pocho named Colton Campbell. We are doing a special report for Aztlan Weekly called Aztlan Mundial. Again, I wanted to call it Raza in UK, but they told me Aztlan Mundial. So instead of Raza, I'm here with an English guy named David Rothon. He's down, and we're going to ask him some questions about Chicanos and tacos, and we'll see how it goes. So David, hello, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing very well, Scott. How are you?
Pretty well. So maybe the first one, have you ever been to the U.S., and did you see any Mexicans, Chicanos, other than me?
I saw you, yeah. I have been to the US. I've been when I was a child. I don't remember who I saw, to be honest, but I also went about 3 years ago to go hiking in Yosemite National Park.
And you didn't see that. Have you heard the word Chicano before?
I've heard it from you.
Okay.
I don't think I'd heard it. I think maybe I'd heard it before that, but wouldn't have known really what it meant.
What do you think about Mexican people, Mexican Americans, and
Cole's giving me a thumbs up, so I've got to be positive.
From off mic, yeah. But what are your ideas about not that you like them or not, but what are your idea about their culture and like things about us?
That's a good question. So I would say, to be honest with you, that almost everything that I know about Mexican Americans comes from TV shows from America featuring Mexican Americans. Like we don't meet any unless you go to America. So it's all, and that's true of everything in the UK. It's all of our impression of America is filtered through TV.
George Lopez.
I don't know who that is, but he sounds amazing. I actually have heard the name. I don't know who George Lopez is.
Do you know Cheech and Chong?
Mexican Americans don't like to just get into gang fights. They like flowers and music and white girls named Debbie too.
Again, I know that they like to smoke a load of weed. That's about it.
do all Chicanos, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't even know they were Chicanos. So are Chicanos Mexican American?
Yeah, that's what we are.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it means.
Okay, what's your, do you like Mexican food, or what's your impression?
I do like Mexican food. I don't eat a lot of meat, so what I like is Mexican foods, like lots of beans, lots of rice, lots of vegetables. That's my ideal diet. It's really healthy, so I'm a big fan of that. And spicy.
Oh, you like spicy food?
Yeah, love like really hot. I say really hot food. I don't know whether that in your world is hot, but what I consider hot.
Yeah, you're already getting points with our audience with that. So how many have you had any tacos in LA or San Antonio or Mexico City?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah, which I'm just by the look on your face, I'm guessing is not the best place to get.
There's kind of a war between like what tacos good, LA or San Antonio or El Paso.
To be honest, I didn't even have tacos in San Francisco. I had a burrito.
Okay.
I think I think the first tacos I've ever had were actually the ones that we had this evening in Cambridge.
Oh, okay.
At Mr. Taco.
Yeah, I did take my hat off to the Cambridge taco. That was a good taco.
I think it's because like burritos tend to be more like bean and rice oriented, whereas tacos work better in my head. Like they work better when you have meat.
Yeah, I can see that. Colton, do you have any questions for our esteemed guest here?
How do you explain the Mexican culture in Cambridge? What does it consist of?
I think it's pretty small, to be honest. Like we do have quite strong communities of like non-English communities, but not really Mexican. So we have like a lot of Syrian and Lebanese. They'll have like a community that you would say like that's the community of that place. But we don't. I wouldn't say that like there's a Mexican community. There's nowhere in Cambridge I would go specifically, or even Spanish speaking, to be honest. So they're just dotted around, basically, like along with loads of other nationalities. Cambridge is super international.
What do you think the British view of Mexican Americans are?
From TV.
Yeah, like mostly from TV. I think, like, I know this is going to sound really negative, but I think a lot of the discussion, a lot of the stuff we hear about is to do with immigration and it's to do with Trump or whoever. It's obviously a big topic, you know, for both sides, so to speak. So, like, that's what a lot of you hear about in the news, let's say, about Mexican Americans or Latin Americans or whatever, will be like, ex-politician is saying this about migrants or not, which is unfortunate because it's obviously just a tiny part of what's newsworthy, but it's the kind of news that we would probably get. And there aren't loads of depictions of, I can't think of that many TV shows that are like purely depictions of that culture, right, where like all the protagonists are like Mexican Americans. There are some maybe, but like I've never heard of them. So.
Would you like to see more TV shows or culture from Mexican Americans that you may not know about?
Yeah, like there was a show by Mexican Americans that depicted their lives from the inside rather than they were just featured as part of another show. I would definitely watch it if it was good.
But there you heard it. There is demand, an absolute demand for Mexican culture, Mexican American culture in the UK. You heard it here first. With that, do you have anything to add, Colton? Or
I don't think so. Thank you for agreeing to the interview.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And good luck stealing the mask.
No, shut up with that. Wait a second. Wait. Cut. If I'm still around, this has been Scott Russell Duncan and Colton Campbell with David Ralston with Autzon Weekly. Hopefully we'll see you back soon.
Now we return you to our regular scheduled program.
And now shoutouts. Once again, our camarada Veronica Aliel would like to give a special shout out to all Raza who are in any way contributing to building locally in their communities and maybe an invite to join the Partido to build national political power. If interested, visit razaunidaparty.org. That's razaunidaparty.org. And finally, Aztlán Weekly would like to hear from you, Raza. If you reside anywhere in Aztlán and would like to share newsworthy events with us, or if you would like to make a special shout out to familia, friends, y queridos, cáganle, shoot us an email at news@aztlanweekly.com. Or you can visit our website at aztlanweekly.com, and you can also find us on social media. Search #Aztlán Weekly. Gracias. Que viva la raza y que viva Aztlán Libre. Es todo.
Minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.